Hello and welcome to Juice with Justin. Before I start today's episode, I'm going to announce the winner of our first PPC Small Business Giveaway. The winner for the 400,000 V&D gift certificate to Nectar is Tom DeCock. I'll be in touch. This week, we're going to give away a 500,000 V&D gift certificate to our favorite burger joint, Marcel Burger. To enter, tag a friend in the comments, and during our next episode, I'll announce a winner. Today, I'm going to debunk the myth that is strength and conditioning, or S&C for short. A big difference between S&C and regular training or working out is this idea that better is better, not more is better. Strength and conditioning is a bit more of an individualized approach to a person's goals or needs for a sport or athletic endeavor. It uses tried and true methods to increase athletic performance and reduce injury risk. So we're talking about sports science here, evidence-based approaches. This is going to improve speed, power, and strength. So we're talking about things like a vertical jump in basketball or racket head speed in a tennis serve. A big component of strength and conditioning is this idea of being available to play. And if we're injured, obviously we can't play. So part of this equation in S&C is to reduce the risk of injuries like ankle sprains or ACL tears or dealing with low back nagging pain issues, things of this nature. This circles back to this better is better idea as opposed to more is better. In a training environment, we want to think from the lines of what is the least amount I can do in the training space to yield the biggest result? Risk versus reward. So I've gone into a bit of what S&C is. I think it's also important to get into what S&C is not. S&C is not a general workout, lifting for the sake of lifting. We're not throwing mud on the wall and seeing what sticks. For example, if you're a baseball player, you're not going to run 10 kilometers several times a week. It just doesn't apply to that sport. In a sport like baseball, the most these guys and girls need to run are short bursts of speed to catch a ball in the outfield, or at maximum, 4 bases for a home run. In soccer, we're not going to overtly use training strategies like hypertrophy or muscle building for someone that needs to keep their weight down and run 12 kilometers a game. And you're not going to use CrossFit in a sport like basketball, where positions 1 through 5 greatly vary in terms of height, limb lengths, center of mass, training ages, things of that nature. You can't have everyone in basketball doing the exact same thing based on their positions. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. So all these things I just named, conditioning, hypertrophy, muscle building, maybe some parts of CrossFit, powerlifting, Olympic lifts, plyometrics, etc. These are just tools, and it doesn't mean we can't use these tools in S&C to help someone depending on their goals. It all just depends on the context of the situation that you're in. At this point, I've given several examples of S&C for sport and athletics. And just because I've talked about this in an athletic sense, it doesn't mean that it does not apply in other situations. Essentially, if anyone has a performance-based goal, S&C strategies can apply to them. For example, the general fitness population. Let's say, for example, we have an individual that has a desk job for several years, and in general, they're kind of sedentary. This individual can use S&C principles and strategies to go from a relatively minimal active lifestyle to more of a moderate and intense active lifestyle. This can also apply to the aging population. Let's say we've had someone who is already living an active lifestyle, goes for hikes, plays recreational sports, goes for runs, things of this nature. But as one ages, we tend to lose strength. And this is a huge thing when it comes to being able to perform for any goal and reduce things like pain and injuries. So we can use strength and conditioning principles to help maintain one's active lifestyle while addressing things like nagging injuries or pain to maintain or increase quality of life when one ages. Unfortunately, the term strength and conditioning is used way too loosely these days. Oftentimes, I've seen the term strength and conditioning used to fluff up and inflate sports programs. It's like marketing. S&C can't be run by a weekend certification personal trainer. They're just not qualified to do these sort of things. Countless times I've heard one of my athletes come back from a sports camp or team practice, things of that nature. And I'll be like, hey, what did you do during your session? And they'll say, hey, we've done some skills training. At the end, we did some strength and conditioning. And I'll ask, what did that look like? Oftentimes, they'll say things like, we did 100 squats, 100 pull-ups, max weight deadlifting, things of this nature. And it's not really following the mantra of better is better. Oftentimes in these scenarios, it's a highly competitive, more is better situation. Okay, let's wrap it up. My hope with putting this stuff out here is that the listeners will get a better understanding of what strength and conditioning is, and importantly, what it is not. There's a lot of value in strength and conditioning, but it gets severely diminished when it's practiced incorrectly. Strength and conditioning can apply to a wide range of people. Essentially, if you have any sort of performance-based goal, S&C can be applied to you. We all need to look at this from a better is better perspective and tailor the training to the individual and their goal. And from this, we're all going to be in a better place. Thanks for joining this episode of Juice with Justin.